Of course I'm muted. Hey, I'm muted. All right, good morning. I forgot to press the add button, so I've just been talking to myself. All right, sound is now working. Good morning, everybody. Sorry about that. Apologize there. All right, let's start from the top. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the founder and CEO of Gar Capital. It is Thursday, October 31, 2024. Happy Halloween, everybody. That was a trick or a treat, me being muted, depending on your view of me. So let's just go ahead and get started again. Take a look to the left side of your screen. You have Dow futures down 239, the Nasdaq down 145, the S&P 500 down 0.64. The Russell is almost green, so a little bit of rotation possibly. 10-year Treasury yield 4.301%. That's up. Dollar index 103.88, down 0.09%. Volatility index up 4%. Crude oil is up 1.3%. I'm crossing my fingers. I have XLE calls. Gasoline futures up 0.77%. Gold futures are down 0.74%. Silver down nearly 2%, but yet copper is up 0.62%. Bitcoin is up as well, 0.39%. Euro dollar is up 25 pips. Dollar yen fell 61 pips. So a couple of moves in the Forex market, and there we go. Let's go ahead and start from the top. NASDAQ futures, bringing up the fib lines. Again, you can have it flipped however you want. We bounced off right around 300, 20,300. We're right near now 20,400 or so. We got to get above 425. That's what you're looking for, 425. And we can target 466 for a quick one, or possibly 495. More than likely, we'll probably stay around this area here, kind of ping-ponging ourselves around 100 points is what I expect. And the reason I say that is that because we have more earnings today. We have Amazon and Apple. Big names, as we know. Let's go ahead and go over the two largest. Microsoft. I talked about this earlier. I just talked about it, but I was mute. Let's see. Microsoft. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. That includes the after-hours trading, which has been very teasing to me in regards to BABA and NVIDIA. I'll explain that in a second. Take a look at Microsoft. That support right around 410, 400 or so. That's what I'm looking to buy the dip, and then look for that 446 break to play calls. So 1, 2, 3 possible triple top. We're just waiting for that break here, 446. Once we do, up to 470, maybe 460, if that's the case. So I do like Microsoft for higher. The reason that it's falling is CapEx, their capital investment into AI. It costs money to make money. And investors are like me, I guess, or anyone else, is very jaded, and they expect Microsoft to just print out money, which they almost do, but they want more. They want more for their capital. Yes, interest rates are falling, but if interest rates are still up, 10-year Treasury yields are still up, the expectation from these names for capital is going to be higher. This is why stocks tend to go lower when rates are higher, because there's an alternative. You can buy government bonds, guaranteed money from the US government, or you can roll the dice and buy a stock that may not pay you a dividend, may not grow, or anything could happen. Just like SMCI, where you have accounting issues, audit issues, and then game over. You don't got that with the treasuries. So again, that's kind of the fight you're always having. When rates are higher, that's when bonds start taking, really taking all the capital out of the system, because it's safer versus equities, which are a little more risky. But that's really the issue with Microsoft there. I think Microsoft is fine long term. Nothing has really changed for me. One earnings report doesn't mean anything. It was green in the morning. It was green post earnings, and then the conference call regarding the guidance slipped it a little bit. Meta's bouncing back about $9 away from where we closed yesterday. You're kind of right smack in the middle of this upward channel. If you're looking for support, it's right around 540, kind of the buy the dip opportunity, very similar to the 400 at Microsoft. Meta's just expensive. That's all it is. I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get a stock split. I'm pretty sure that Netflix, Meta, these names are going to start coming around maybe next year, but we're just ain't there yet. So it's kind of hard to trade just for the fact for a signal, because it's just too darn expensive to send out. Let's see. I had one other thing I wanted to go over. Yeah. Coinbase reported as well. Coinbase, okay, earnings are done. If we can break above this double top of 225.57, I definitely want to go and play calls to 240 to 260. That's what I'm looking for. NVIDIA. I have NVIDIA puts. Mind you, NVIDIA puts. My target was 136. One time yesterday, pulls back in the morning, and then bounces. And then right here. We're right there, guys. And these NVIDIA puts have been a tough hold. We had AMD earnings. We know what it is. NVIDIA is a great company, but I was just playing this gap fill and it has not happened as of yet, but we are teasing. We should be able to get that today, members. Let's see. Real G's moving silence. Like, yeah, real G's really talk to themselves about the market. I am so sorry, guys, but if you've been with me for a while here watching on YouTube, but it happens. It happens where I'm just like, God, I forgot to press that button to record or put the microphone on. Doesn't matter. Let's answer some questions. Micron puts. All right, Micron puts. And I went ahead and drew a couple bubbles here because this was supposed to be a setup for an inverse head and shoulders. Did not get there. 1, 2, 3, kind of a triple top here. In terms of puts, what are we looking at? We're looking at 98.45 if we were to break down, but I already have NVIDIA puts. So if Micron pulls back, that's even better. But yeah, you could see if we were just looking at the technicals, you could see kind of that sideways diagonal, kind of leaning inverse head and shoulders, which is usually a bullish setup. Let's see if I can draw this line here so I can give you the shoulder line. And then we can really base ourselves on where are we going. There you go. So we'll use that as our shoulder line, shoulder, or your neckline, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of holding on right now, 104.80. It is pulling back a little bit. 98.45 would be your last call for a stop in terms of it. If not, you're going to go fill this gap here at 90.99. And then the inverse head and shoulders is invalidated at around 98.45. So let's see what the day brings. I hope it falls just for the fact that I have NVIDIA puts. That'll bring NVIDIA down. So hate to be a bear, hate it, but that's just the reality. When you see it, you got to take it. All right. Trump Media has the worst day in its trading history, says Erwin Kochan. Let's see. All right, let's take a look at DJT since everyone's in election mode. It's Halloween, so we're right near the finish line in terms of the election. That's going to be next Tuesday. The election has already started, guys. There's people early voting, so it's not like anything new. But again, I don't know if we'll get a result on Tuesday, but we'll see what happens in general. DJT, Donald Trump stock, is very binary. Why? If he wins, it soars. If he loses, it's going to tank. Simple as that. If you just want to bet on the winner of the election, you have plenty of other outlets out there. In the United States, it is legal to bet on the elections, a judge said. You hit some resistance. It's just technical basis on the daily. You can see it right there, right around 54.73. It's at 41 currently. It's really just a binary bet on who wins the election. I apologize. My mic was muted, so sorry about that. Let's see. Are the semis about to pop, says Marcos. Don't think so. I don't think so at all. I don't think the semis are going to pop anytime soon. What I do expect is that we get one more flush before the election or after the fact, after the election. Some kind of craziness where people get worried. So I'm just waiting patiently for that kind of move. Let's see. Google. Some questions on Instagram. Again, Instagram, everybody, I apologize again. In regards to the sound. All right, so did we fill that gap on Google? We did, so we can remove this now. Hit my target, great. Let's see if I can remove this drawing. Perfect. Where are we now? 175, 61. Let's see. Let's do 175. If that does break down, you have a gap to fill, the earnings gap right around 172.09. That would be the target, about $2. You could see this top end resistance just in this channel. I can remove this. There you go. And you can see that channel that has been pretty formed, pretty steady. Again, a couple of breakouts, a couple of breakdowns, but right in the median, that 187 kind of zone was rejected. See, it's pulling back a little bit, but that's the gap that we're going to fill here since we already filled this one. So at least target was hit, was what we were looking for on Google. Nice stuff. Nike here for a long-term hold. Let's see it. I know they report earnings a little later in November. Here's your level, 68.05. If you get to 68.05, which is cheaper than a new pair of Air Force Ones, you could buy one share of Nike. And the saying goes, when it's time to buy, you won't want to. Everyone hated Starbucks. Everyone hated Meta in 2022. Look at them now. Everyone hated Netflix in 2022. It just happens this way, back and forth, kind of like the tide going in and out. You have stocks that people love, and then you have stocks that people hate, and things flip around. So I got an alert at 68.05 for Nike. Let's see if we get it. Good morning. SPY puts today. Let's see it. We're right at support. So let's call 574 support. If that does break down, then we got a little more to go. We got into like 570 to 566. If 574.05 breaks, the only problem, Dylan, with SPY is that tomorrow is a non-farm payroll report. That's where we get the jobs number. So we want to be careful. We have news on that. We have information on jobless claims and all that stuff, which was better than expected, on our live market blog if you are interested in taking a look. Can you review Intel? Sure can. Let's see it. All right. And yes, don't talk to me about the Yankees. I know they lost last night. I know. Bunch of DMs, yes. I get more DMs when my teams lose than on my birthday, which is hilarious. 25.51, I still think you have that flag. You still got that nice bull flag there. Just got to get above 24. And then 25.51 would be next. That's what it looks like it's setting up for. So you got kind of the support of around 20.50. And then you have that 25.51. You got a massive earnings gap from the last one at 28.79. I think it goes up. But I was wrong on Microsoft. Initially, I was right. I didn't trade it. Meta, I was wrong. But I was right on Google. And I was right on AMD. So what, 3 out of 4? Not bad. Earnings, guys, are so difficult to trade. You can beat on the top and bottom line, stock will tank. You can miss every single metric in terms of earnings, literally get Fs on your report card, and your stock goes up. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. It's not as simple as, oh, they beat, it went up. No. There's guidance, there's expectations. I'll give you an example. I said this on the premium signals yesterday. The Carolina Panthers, I think, are probably the worst football team in the NFL, if anyone is into NFL. If they made the playoffs this year, you're popping champagne in the locker room. But if the Dallas Cowboys don't make the playoffs this year, everyone's fired. Or if the Dallas Cowboys make the playoffs, what? That's like the bottom expectation. That's the lowest expectation from the owner. So it's the same stuff, same scenarios, same events. Events just happen. It's always our perception that changes everything and our expectation. Expectations are the mother of disappointment. Always. It's just how it goes. So be very careful with expectations in regards to anything, especially the stock market, because that'll change in a heartbeat. And before you know it, you're throwing your monitor out the window. Save your monitor. Understand that things happen and it ain't your fault. Let's do Palantir rather quickly. So I'm under the gun here. All right, Palantir pulling back. The CEO sold some shares yesterday. Microsoft is very entwined with Palantir, kind of the same sector, cloud computing, AI, stuff like that. So this is moving back in terms of sympathy. Guys, I've been saying Palantir has been overbought for a minute. So the fact that it's pulling back is a good sign. Let it take a breather. In terms of what are we looking at support, I mean, right around 40. That's what you're looking at. If you can get to around 40, sure, you could play a pop. You do have a downside gap there, right around the 1 hour. Let me see. Is it a daily gap? Probably an earnings gap. There you go. Right around there. 3104 from September. We have a gap there. Is that going to fill this year? I don't think so. I think we get to 40. 40 will be a great zone for a bounce. And I love Palantir. Amazon. They report today. We did tag 195. I said that was my target, 195. 200 is the Bezos wall. That's where he's been selling. And yes, he does sell shares. I've been seeing it. 189, if that right here, 189, 183, that's kind of your zone there. I'm going to be neutral on Amazon, actually. I would say, I think it falls. It's actually the cheapest in terms of valuation among the Mag 7 names. So there's value in Amazon. It's just the price action isn't the same as a Google or a Microsoft where you get those great moves lately. It's been a minute. So 201 would be my resistance. Gun to my head, I think Amazon's a short. I've been wrong. I think Amazon pulls back today. I know, sucks. I hope it soars. But it looks like once we get to 200 here, we get like some nice pop on earnings, it'll just come back down. It's happened before. So that's all we can. That's what I expect. Again, I'm not going to trade it. It's just too darn expensive for earnings. I can't send earnings signals that are very, very expensive to the members. It's just too much. You can't do it. All right. So I guess I answered all the questions there. All right, team. We'll leave it there. I'm going to go check in with the team. Have a great rest of your morning. Enjoy your Halloween. Stay safe. Have fun. And we'll see you tomorrow for a brand new month, November 1st, my favorite month. Always bullish. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers.